Good morning, everyone. Well, welcome to my Thursday Facebook Live update, and I hope you are all well. The temperature has risen, and it's a beautiful day, and I know that summer's just around the corner, and actually, there's no one around me, so I'm going to take my mask off for a minute. And I'm at Woodland Park today with our Director of Parks and Recreation, Monica Conrad, who is standing several feet away from me right now. And you all already know probably that Lexington has an awesome park system. And we all love our parks and our natural areas. And I know that all of you are eager to get out and use the parks as much as you can. And so Monica and her team have been working really hard to gradually reopen parks. And first of all, I want to thank Monica for being with us today. And Monica, would you give us kind of a brief update on how we've adjusted our parks and our programming? I know it's been back and forth. And tell us a little bit about how that's been.
Great. Thank you, Mayor. It has been a challenge over these last 2 months, but we have a great team and they've adjusted very quickly to all the changes and restrictions that we see with this COVID pandemic that we're going through right now. So fortunately, our team members are very flexible and are thinking very creatively about how we can get as many of our amenities back up to par and open to the public as quickly as we can.
Tell us a little bit about this summer. So this is May, and we still have June, July, August. Are we looking at anything different for any of those months? I know you've been very intentional with your team to do what is right at the right time. So what do you foresee for the summer?
That's a great question, Mayor. So our team is looking at all of the national, the state, and the local guidelines and making our decisions on when to reopen areas or programs, community centers, have a special event. All of those are really dependent on those guidelines. So we're benchmarking against the number of folks who would be allowed in a gathering or the number of spaces that we can have available for folks. So we'll be benchmarking those throughout the summer. You'll be hearing from us frequently about what our next plan is to reopen. We feel it's important for the public. This has never been a more important time to have access to our parks and green space. We see that out here today, folks walking and enjoying the spaces. So utmost importance.
Good. And we're right here in front of the tennis courts.
Yes.
And when we arrived here, there were a couple fellas playing tennis.
Yes.
And I know that with golf, we had to close down golf, but then you and your team did some innovations, and golf's now up and running.
Yes.
And you've done a great job with a really constantly changing situation. I know you have an awesome team.
We do.
Yes.
I couldn't do it without them. They are really the reason that we're able to get tennis courts open this week. Our Jacobson boat dock just opened yesterday.
Yes.
So folks can get out and rent a paddle boat, or they can rent a kayak. So another opportunity for people to get out and enjoy our parks. And again, we'll just keep trying to open those up as it's deemed safe to do so.
Very good. Thank you so much for everything. You know, I appreciate your hard work.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Now we're going to walk over here, and I'm going to sit on a bench, and we'll talk about a few other updates. Thank you again, Monica.
Thanks, Mayor.
You know, it's so pretty out in the park, and I think the weekend is supposed to be beautiful, and so I hope you all will get out. Now I'm going to go over here and sit down. As you will notice with the tennis courts, we have taken the net down on one of them when you have a set of two, because that way we can sort of assure ourselves that people won't be close to each other and they won't, be bumping into each other or anything like that. So Monica, I just can't say enough about how beautifully she has worked through these challenges. And so now let me give you a couple more updates on COVID-19. Our Kroger test site at Bluegrass Community Technical College on Newtown Pike, tomorrow will be the last day for the current testing there. And so it will be closed next week. And we're hoping to get it back pretty soon. And then we still have our Walgreens test site up and running. So that is at 2296 Executive Drive. And at the Walgreens site, you do not need an appointment. You do need to be either someone with symptoms or a healthcare worker or a first responder. And if you fit into those categories, you can just show up at that Walgreens, and it's free. There's no appointment needed. It's 7 days a week from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So go out there and get tested. And this week, Kentucky's gradually starting to reopen its economy. This is a good thing. And so I want you to stay tuned on our website, which is www.lexingtonky.gov, and you will find a link on that homepage for all the COVID-related information you could possibly want. And it will also have the details of our reopening here in Fayette County. And so one of the steps that we are going to take as we begin to reopen is we're going to have to do contact tracing. And this is an important tool that helps reduce the continued spread of COVID-19. And it identifies and tests people and recommends people get tested who've been in contact with someone who's a confirmed positive case. So the way it works is there's a person who is positive, and what the contact tracing does is then they go ask that person who they've been with for the past 2 weeks. And so that's how they find out who would have been exposed to the positive case. The state has put out an RFP to hire the contact tracers, and Lexington will be part of that system that the state provides the tracers for. And it's all in coordination, of course, with the health department. So finally, I want to tell you that I've been working with the Bluegrass Community Foundation to finalize the establishment of a support fund for critical nonprofit agencies that are serving our most vulnerable citizens right now, particularly with shelter, food, and this is shelter for children, individuals, and adults, families. These folks are working hard. They're working overtime on this. So the Mayor's Fund for the Greater Good is going to raise money to help these agencies, and we're off to a great start. A generous anonymous donor has contacted me and pledged $237,000 for Arbor Youth Services. And so we expect to announce more details and give you the site where you can donate. And it will, for this situation, every donation counts, whether it's $5, $50, or $500. And this is a time when our community has this great opportunity to help everyone. So as I keep saying, you, our Fayette County citizens, are doing a great job keeping this virus under control. And, we've all added flattening the curve to our vocabularies. And so your social distancing is what is helping with that. And so we continue to encourage you, when you don't have to be out, to stay healthy at home. And those of us who are working, we're healthy at work, and our government is going to soon have up and running all of our guidelines for our employees to stay healthy at work. So in the meantime, I'll see you next week, and thanks for all you're doing to help keep us all safe. And I'm going to remask because I'm going to be walking through an area that may have some folks in it. Thanks. Bye-bye.